Hi everybody, Radical Gardener. I did a whole 25-minute video of the garden and the video just disappeared. I don't know where it is. So it's raining now and I'll have to wait and do another one. So if it stops raining later today, I've got nothing else to do, so I'll just do that. Well, there is a lot going on, isn't there? I want to address not what is happening, because anybody again that's watching this channel understands that this is all being orchestrated and it's a desperate attempt to change a narrative that has nothing to do with the revelation of truth. So, we already know there are documents being declassed daily, and if you're following that, it's pretty damning for the administration before this one, and just all the spying that was going on. And it's not even, it's not even a matter of an opinion. It's really in black and white if anyone's willing to look at it. Is that what's important? Well, I guess on one level, it's really important. I mean, calling out who the bad guys are and, who are the good guys and who are going to try and move us forward in some kind of sensible way, because, we are a self-ruling people, but, definitely need some guidance as we make our way through the next part of our history, the next part of our evolution. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how necessary that all of the drama that's going on now, that is absolutely necessary for where we're at. Do we want people being killed? No. Do we want businesses to be ruined? No. I mean, businesses were already suffering because of a fake pandemic, who were forced to close, and then open up slowly. Many of them were so small that opening slowly was still the kiss of death. And then, when they were losing control, they meaning the deep state, the evil ones, the satanic elite, whoever they are, they're losing the narrative on the whole COVID thing. There's so much coming out. I mean, we have 4 or 5 governors that stuck, people that had a virus, or even if they had the flu, to stick them in a nursing home where it turns out that's where most of the deaths were occurring, and that drove up the numbers. Boy, that's just getting pretty dark, I'm telling you. I thought abortion outside of the womb was pretty dark, but this is this is all of it is evil. So, history has shown that each time we have a plague or a pandemic or a world war or anything like that, what happens on the other end of that? And it's always something amazing. It's always a step up, right? I mean, if you look at the bubonic plague, afterwards was the Renaissance, which might have been one of the most amazing times in literature and in art, right? After the Second World War, I mean, technology went through the roof. After the First World War, you look at, the Art Deco, and Art Nouveau was kind of a little bit during the war, but Art Deco, Art Nouveau, art became really exciting. You had the birth of jazz. I mean, music was really really got interesting. So there's always this like renaissance of sorts. This time, I believe it's a renaissance of spirit. And there's only one way through it, and this is it. It's a walk through what we would label maybe as hell, or just it's hellish, right? And I remember I wrote a song called if you're walking through hell, don't stop. Don't sit down and pack a lunch and, hang out there and go, yeah, it's pretty warm here. You just want to get through hell as quickly as possible. And that's what we want here. If you look at how it's happened in kind of the step-by-step way in our modern society, it started out, worldwide, federal, state, and now we're at the cities. And with each one of those levels, we are exposing more evil, right? So in this case, we already know, if you're paying attention at all, is that the supposedly cop, that supposedly murdered George, who a lawyer's just come out and said that George has been dead for 3 years. This is an actor, and now everybody's found this guy, George, an actor, whoever he is. They found him in porn movies. I mean, it just is getting weirder and weirder. And then, George and the cop worked together for 17 years. The stories just are going on and on and on. So basically, it's a false flag used to trigger, and even the mayors that are pretty dark, beings, even they're saying, hey, listen, they're busing people in from out of the city. Gee, I wonder who's in charge of that. And they're finding pallets of bricks just appearing somewhere in the city, or hooded people that just show up and start breaking windows, then disappear to get everybody going. Right? Is it wrong? Yes. Is it upsetting? Yes. Is it? But know that it's not going to last. It's not going to last for very long, and with it will come more revelation. It's always about the revelation. So that's what I keep my eye on. I'm not, after I had that kind of breakthrough 2 weeks ago, I'm just not invested in the fear, and I'm not invested in being upset. I look at it. I'll tell you if I like it or don't like it. But basically, I'm not attaching an emotion to it, because I can see it for what it is. And it's really important to do that and not get caught up in the craziness. I think that the media is inciting rioting. I think that they should be held accountable. I think that now Antifa has been declared a terrorist organization, which they are. Now I think they can go after them and they can throw them in front of military tribunals. And I think that George might be able to follow right along behind him, George Soros. So maybe this is what had to happen to get rid of that element, which seems to be like kind of a crick in the neck. They just keep showing up and causing trouble, and they're paid for. They're paid for. So you get my point. Don't invest a lot of your emotions in this, because it will be over soon. There will be revelation attached, and we are on to bigger and better things. So I came across this article. It was really good. It's a blog, and it is by Richard Bledsoe. Surviving Beyond Our Time Inside the Beast. Okay. This just has some great ideas in it. All right, so I'm just going to read a little bit of this. A core postmodern idea is that language shapes reality, and by controlling language, the ruling... wrong one. Honestly, it's too many notes. Here we go. And do we have the author's name? That will definitely be in, because he needs to get the credit for this, because I can go back and look it up. Yeah, Bledsoe, Bledsoe. Yeah, and I'll put his link below. So here's what he has said. I love this. He said, Remodernism is a governing philosophy rising to take the place of the dying dinosaur, postmodernism. These vicious death throes of postmodernism happening now are only delaying its inevitable collapse. Remodernism was first codified in 2000 by two English artists, Billy Childish and Charles Thompson. Even though it addresses art, it applies to the cultural zeitgeist as a whole, worldwide. Its time has come. Billy Childish and Charles Thompson called Remodernism a mandate for a spiritual renaissance in the arts. The manifestation of this renewal is connectivity. Using art as a means of connecting with ourselves, each other, and the divine in a meaningful way. Far from the fragmentation of the modernist and the divisiveness of the postmodernist, Remodernism is the pursuit of unity. Kinship usually means family connections. Remodernism knows what real religions know. All people are family. And every individual is equally worthy of caring and respect. Like a family, we each have our own interests and talents. Remodernist artists see creative expression as their way to know themselves, to bond with others, and to learn more about life. And isn't that what's happening? Haven't you seen so many people wake up and get connected? I mean, so many of you had that same thing happen to you a couple of weeks ago that I did. I just went, whoa, wait, right? There was just this clarity. The spirit of kinship inspires concern for the well-being of others. Being drawn outside the limitations of our own self-interest allows us to operate in the most effective state anyone can achieve, love. It's a mistake to think of love as an emotion. Even though it stirs our deepest feelings, love is more than those feelings. Love is the principle that guides existence. It's behaving with wisdom. Love instructs that life is a gift and we are all one, so we need to act accordingly. Modernists were so fixated on what was changing, they forgot about what endures, what matters, what really matters, right? Keep picking all that little stuff. The postmodernists were too selfish to respond to the promptings of love. This willful lack of love undermined Western civilization, but the lack of love is also what doomed those efforts to redefine humanity. Without the foundation of love, all other factors collapse. And that's why none of it does last, and none of it feels really meaningful. That is always the missing element. It has to be all-inclusive, right? Not exclusive. Remodernism invests love back into the culture, not the phony leftist hippie sloganeering about love that the baby boom generation indulged in, but the genuine article. And that's why that stopped working for me, because something about it wasn't genuine. It was reactionary, right? Remodernism sees art as a conduit for shareable moments of beauty, enjoyment, comprehension, and truth. Assembling these elements together approaches a state of grace, which is the ultimate expression of the love bestowed on us by our Creator. We are called to follow His example. The grace of love is that timeless, indescribable element found in all great artworks from across all times and all cultures. That element still is accessible today despite the failure of the establishment art world to provide it. And absolutely true. And art is everything. Music, film, I mean, all of it. And you know, it's just, most of it is just garbage now. It's garbage. Graceful love. I love graceful love. Graceful love, so long neglected by our arts institutions, is what gives remodern art the power to bring everyone together. The engagement, curiosity, enthusiasm, and kinship Remodernism delivers all originates in love. All originates in love. With this love, Remodernism makes art into an integrated, holistic experience again. Remodernism is accessible to anyone who aspires to use art to inspire. It even extends to the deluded postmodernist fools who sought to control us. They need to rejoin with humanity and to learn their rightful place, standing along with the rest of us side by side. Love is forgiving. Remodernism resolves the confusions and heals the breaches imposed on society during modernism and postmodernism. It is the triumphant renewal of Western values. After years of destruction, the reconstruction will take extensive efforts, but it will be spectacular. I remember I read a quote a long time ago that music, it is an example of, it's like a thermometer on taking the temperature of where a culture is at that time. You better look at our music because it's not that good. So, you go, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. So, all of this, I believe, that is going on now is a destined path that we all signed up for, and you guys know how I believe this, that we are here and we are all fulfilling our destiny. And I think that it's really important for us to understand that this is also in conjunction with Sophia, our great Earth Mother. We would not be, I said allowed, tolerated, maybe tolerated, if we were just off and running and destroying everything and burning everything down and what have you. There is a co-creation that goes on between us and our mother, our Earth Mother. Our Earth Mother could shake us off at any moment like a dog does fleas, but our Earth Mother is a mother of unconditional love who is supporting our transformation. She is here to support our transformation. The Earth doesn't punish you. I've heard so many celebrities say that. Oh, the Earth Mother's angry. Well, I got news for you. I don't know what mom you're talking about. It's not the Earth Mom. So remember, Sophia formed this earth out of nothing but love. And, some outside forces came in and have been trying to thwart that ever since. That's that shadow that follows us around. And we can either identify and connect to our Earth Mother, or we can feed the shadow. So I say breathe into it and stay connected to humanity and loving humanity and forgiving humanity and trusting the plan, and that plan being a divine plan. Trusting what's in place and that all things will be the way that we are imagining that they should be. And maybe remembering that it's already happened, but we just haven't gotten there yet. So, yeah, I guess basically trust in our Earth Mother, trust in our hearts, trust in love, trust in God. It's all okay. It's all okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe I can get out in the garden. It looks like it's stopped raining. My garden's really coming together. Oh, and I cut my own hair because I can't find a hairdresser that will take me without a mask. Whatever. Anyways, you guys, Radical Gardener, my garden to you, to yours, and yeah, I'm sending you a ton of love, okay? All right. Have a lovely day. Goodbye.